everybody, it's Bucky with Top Dollar Home Offer. We buy houses Tulsa and we help homeowners who say, I need to sell my house fast. We also help homeowners facing all different types of situations, whether you inherited a house, whether you going through a divorce or separation or a job loss, we can help. Today, we are going to talk to you about grass. And we're not talking about all the signs that's all over town now. We're talking about green grass and how to prepare your lawn for spring, right? One of our favorite grasses is fescue. And we're going to talk about fescue. And why are we talking about fescue? Well, real estate is about curb appeal when we're fixing and flipping houses, right? We want to prepare that house for when we sell it and it's ready in its prime time. So fescue is one of the most beautiful grasses. It's green year-round. That's what's nice about it. So if we're trying to sell a house in the wintertime, the grass is green. The only downfall of fescue, it does not do well in the hot months of August and July. So it almost dies, right? Takes lots of water. But we love fescue. When we buy houses, we often try to put fescue, seed the lawn to make it green year-round. That way when we're trying to fix and flip and sell a house, it's green in the wintertime. Everything else will be dead, no trees with leaves, but the grass is green and the house looks good. Especially in the springtime when everything starts sprouting back, you look at that beautiful tall grass. So let's talk about some tips and tricks for fescue, okay? It is November right now. You have a window of opportunity to plant fescue. So let's talk about when to plant fescue. This window is when it starts getting below 70 degrees and above freezing. So really about 38 degrees. This is your best window. So we're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and that time frame is usually October and early November. Okay? That's the best time to plant. You can do it in the spring, but fescue likes to establish those deep roots through the wintertime, and it grows all winter long. That's what makes it green in the winter, right? Everything else is brown and dead, but you can have a beautiful green yard pretty much year-round except for these months when it dies, okay? How do you plant fescue? We use an awesome company out there, and they've planted many of our yards over the years, and they can do a great job. One of the cool things about fescue is the way they plant it. They use a slit seeder, okay? And what that does, that not only plants the seeds into the ground, so it's basically a little machine that's got a bunch of knives that go into the ground, and then there's a hopper up here that contains all the seeds, and then they push it around the yard, okay? It's got a motor, so it pushes itself. But these seeds fall in here and go down about three inches or so, right? And I don't know if you followed much about grass and lawns, but a lot of people talk about aerating the lawn, like bringing oxygen, opening it up, let the lawn breathe. Well, as you slit seed this and go around the lawn, it's actually aerating that as well. So this little machine is awesome because it not only plants the seeds below the surface, meaning if you had a surface here and you just scattered seeds across the top of the lawn, it's not going to penetrate a hard yard that's been dry for the month of July and August and September. I mean, we may have got a lot of moisture, but these seeds would take a while to get down into the ground. And what happens oftentimes, they're often washed over into the street and your seeds are gone, okay? So depending on the lawn, you need to do a soil test, right? A soil test will tell you what nutrients is missing. So this year, one of our lawns needed to be top dressed, right? So top dressing means to add nutrients back into the soil, right? So when we buy houses, we often look at the yard too, right? if we're going to sell this property, it's important to have a beautiful yard when people pull up to the house if they're looking to buy it for top dollar. So you may want to consider that. Is fescue the right for you? So if you don't have an irrigation system, you need to have an irrigation system, okay? Or a sprinkler system, whatever you want to call it. These items all go hand in hand. So make sure you have a sprinkler system, because prior to planting, if it's been dry, you want to water heavy for 20 minutes, okay? This allows that water to soak in and loosen up that ground to get ready for these seeds. Even though these seeds are going to go down in there, it still helps to have that soil loose and moisture deep down in there, okay? After they plant your seeds or your fescue, you're going to want to water this for 7 to 10 days daily, right? For a good deep soaking again. So a couple weeks before, you want to make sure you water it every day for 20 minutes. Then after they've planted it, you almost want to do that twice a day. Okay, so that soaks that soil with lots of water. And then this year, we're actually doing a top dressing to one of our lawns. And that top dressing is going to add soil back in. So not only does these seeds go in there, but we're going to throw a top dressing, which means just cast a little bit of compost, which is, compost consists of like different items broken down, earthly items like grasses and trees, and that breaks down into what we call compost. So it's nature's, God's way of replenishing the earth. So as things break down and go back into the soil, those nutrients go back into the soil. The cool thing about it is you can buy compost, and you can scatter it with like a little scatter. So it casts it out evenly across the lawn. So you can roll it across the lawn, cast the dirt. It's basically dirt. Compost is dirt, but it's good dirt, okay? So we're going to top dress the lawn, and then that will give it another layer for these seeds not to wash away and escape. Then you have to patiently wait for a couple weeks. So in about 2 weeks, you'll start seeing all these little sprouts come up. And it's so cool. In another couple weeks, in about 4 weeks, you're going to have about an inch and a half of beautiful fescue sprouting up all over. And it's going to look like lines, right? And those lines will just eventually fill into this beautiful grass, okay? The only downfall about fescue, you have to reseed typically every year because it dies off. It won't rejuvenate itself. Like Bermuda grass, it just takes off and creates new sprouts everywhere, and it's dead all winter. And it doesn't green up to May, right? Or sometimes June. I like to have green grass year-round on my lawns. So Bermuda doesn't turn back green till like May, maybe late May, and then it starts dying off like right now. So you have a October to May window, so May, June, July, August, September, like 5 months. So the difference, fescue, you can have green grass 10 to 12 months a year, right? Bermuda, you'll have it for 5 to 6 months. So depending on what you like about your grass, fescue may be a great option. So keep that in mind. We buy houses, we love to plant green grass back in them because we never know when we're going to fix and flip that property. And if it's wintertime, then we want to have green grass when we're showing that house. If you have a house that you say, hey, I need to sell my house fast, then give us a call at 918-212-5442. We love to buy houses, and we love to help people out of their situations. Maybe you just have a question about grass or whatever it may be. We've been in this business for a long time. We've been buying houses for 20 years, and we've seen all different types of situations. So we can help you, whether it's questions about finance or budgeting or whatever. We have abundance of free resources on our website. Go check it out. We thank you so much. We're a great neighbor. We're here to help you out. Have a great day.